Hello everybody, it's MicheleMarieDalene, North American Snow Queen. Hail Mary me to all of you. Of course, today is Tuesday, I believe it is the 15th of October, and of course we're going to be just kicking the tires around. I did a video a couple days ago on Sunday, which I did not yet upload, and I apologize. I was having some issues with trying to get the light level adjusted just right. You see, we lost one of the light bulbs, and because of that, we are technically only got 3 lights to work with. 2 of the green screen behind me, and of course 1 key light, which is in front of me. And so that's what we're doing here, is we're just trying to get the picture right. I brought down to Cable or Charter Communications today. I brought down the newest 2 episodes coming up for the broadcast for the 20th. I'm sorry, not the 20th, the 21st and the 28th. The 21st will be on small town, small business economy, and also the 28th will be about the need to have redundant power systems. And which I wanted to talk about briefly on the national level too, because I also found that Ed told me that he thought the generator was kaput. Well, no, it's not. Actually, Ed's generator runs fine. It's just that obviously the gasoline in it is getting kind of bad and old, and I might want to just dump the tank of gas and put fresh gas in it and clean the carburetor. It does run, but it's probably full of crap. So actually, I would like to install a kit on it to allow it to run on propane as well as natural gas and gasoline, so I'll be able to use it as an only fuel generator. Because one of the things is that we talked about in one of the videos, which is one I did from Hurricane Sandy, was the issue of having redundant power systems. Because we live in a time and age when we have technology has become a major component of our infrastructure, and electricity especially is used from everything from cooking your dinner to pumping water out of your well to providing your lights, and in many cases your heating system is either completely all electric or at least is using electricity in part to provide resources. So there certainly is a good reason to consider a backup energy source. The Boy Scout motto always said, "Be prepared." Well, being prepared means having backups in case things don't go well. I went also, besides testing the generator to see if it still could kick it over, and I did. I got it started without too much of a fuss. I mean, I had to choke it a lot, but I finally got the thing to turn over. And I put some good gas in the. We had a gas can in the tank, and it ran. So that's good. It's dirty as hell, but maybe I can go ahead and get access to a power washer and clean it up. Likewise, I pulled out my old trike out of the under the tarp and checked it out. The tires need air, but it looks like it is operable. The chain definitely needs a good oiling, and we'll have to give it a good 5-point service coming up in maybe next week or next month. I will go ahead and begin the process of greasing and lubricating all the joints, and maybe see if I can find a way to buy a replacement chain in case that chain calls it quits. At least I'll have a spare chain to work on. I got to count the number of links on said chain to determine how many I need. It's a longer chain. It's a Miami run, so it's, it definitely is going to need a lot of TLC. It's been kind of unfortunately neglected over the years. So it's my fault and someone else's. I went to the Torrington Food Bank truck today, and it was crowded. But it seemed at least that I was able to get some food to take home. Winston's food truck is this week as well, and on Thursday. So hopefully, I can go to both food trucks if I want. But I got a feeling I'll be getting the same stuff I already got. So I'm probably not going to go through and picking up some more of the same identical food I already got. I got potatoes, I got carrots, I got celery. I have already picked up some apples from the soup kitchen, things like that. So, should prove interesting. And I'm looking forward to this, every day. Winter. By the way, speaking of winter, Hallmark Channel, starting as of October 31st, will be featuring, offering on the weekends, Christmas movies. Yay! I like Christmas movies. In fact, my DVR is full of Christmas movies. I happen to watch all kinds of Christmas movies. For me, it's something I enjoy. I enjoy watching Christmas stories, and holiday movies really excite me. So what's the winter going to be like this year? Well, I'll tell you what. I would definitely, as I obviously can guess, I'm going to try to fine-tune the generator, get it operating as best I can. Same thing with the trike, because I got a feeling I'm going to need both. One trike is so I can get things done where I need to travel, and the generator will be because I believe this winter we are going to see potential power outages from winter storms, and as well as we never know, we could have another autumn storm again, couldn't we? We could always have another autumn storm Alfred type thing where we basically not power off for a week. Gee. Now, because it's a gasoline generator, gasoline does not usually last very long. It tends to go bad after a while. So I might definitely want to consider alternative fuels. As I said, getting a propane conversion kit so I can run the propane as well as gasoline. So I'll be able to use a 20-pound tank of propane as well as gasoline as needed. So whichever one is available to me, I could use it. I could not find a padlock for my trike. So let me say to me, what happens if someone steals it? Well, here's the secret. If somebody steals my trike, I want you to know that I wouldn't be very happy with you. But then on the other hand, if you could fix it up and use it, I guess I would probably rather give it away to somebody who could use it than letting the poor son of a gun rust. So what I'm going to do right now is I want to try to get the video up. I did promise to get up on Sunday, which I did not get up. I'm going to try to get that up. And this video is more of trying to make sure that our light levels are right. We know the white balance is right, but the light levels may be off. So we're going to work on that. And in addition to that, I contacted and talked to people on Netflix about one of my personal issues that I can't watch Netflix movies on my Power Mac G5. And I explained to them that maybe they need to consider providing an application. Like they can provide one for an iPhone 3GS. There's no reason I can't provide one for the Macintosh desktop computer. To provide, even if it's a dedicated application to watch Netflix. Some of you guys might say, well, yeah, isn't that kind of counterproductive? No, it's not. Actually, in some ways, it would have provide Netflix a couple advantages. Number one, they would be able to have tighter control over the code and the software instead of depending on everything else from third parties to provide the code to keep things working. Because we know that Adobe and Microsoft have basically given up on the PowerPC. There is no longer a Flash version maintained, and there's no longer a Microsoft Silverlight maintained for the PowerPC processor. So if Adobe was to go ahead and produce their own dedicated application, they would also be able to make sure, for the purpose of all the people who are using PowerPC machines, or maybe even the code could be generic enough that it could also be provided for Intel processors as well. So, in other words, a universal binary. Now, as far as computers, what is the story with Apple? I've heard rumors that Apple might consider going back to using its own ARM architecture. I have not heard any more about that, but you know what? That would be very interesting. As I said, the Intel people will be gloating their way to the bank right now, but the minute that happens is the minute that they're going to be joining the PowerPC camp and and singing the blues. But I think the PowerPC users would be like I said, they can go back to the PowerPC or Intel people and say, well, gee, you thought you guys had a guarantee here. It doesn't work that way. But the truth was, is the individual I talked to at Netflix thought that the reason why they went to the Intel processors was at the suggestion of IBM. No, IBM did not want them to go to Intel. IBM could not keep up or could not produce a Power G5 processor that would be suitable for a laptop. And there was talk and there was some designing, but it just never happened to come to fruition. And Apple just grew impatient and said, you know what? Intel's got a processor that's already available for that purpose. We want to use Intel processors. I don't like the way Apple treated the PowerPC users. They treated us badly. Instead of being nice about trying to, from the very beginning, working with us to make the migration a little bit less painful, all of a sudden we wake up one day and all of a sudden all the PowerPC programs are gone and off the shelves of the Apple Store, and all they have is Intel programs. And we're trying to do a forced migration of the PowerPC users. And there's a lot of PowerPC users, I can assure you, that are not interested in migrating to anything because they've got a machine that meets their needs. You don't throw a good working computer away unless it doesn't meet your needs anymore. If it doesn't meet your needs, well then this is definitely a non-issue. If it's a computer that meets your needs and it's working fine and it's fast enough and you're getting what you need done, then that becomes an issue. But from me to being able to watch movies on Netflix and things like that, that's a great idea. I really would like to be able to watch software and movies and things on my Power Mac G5. It's got a nice, powerful machine. There's no reason why it could not be, the code could not be ported from maybe using the concept of what they did for the iPhone and maybe somehow port it to the desktop. So I talked to the person customer service, and he said to me, why don't you contact human relations and see about getting a job for us? Because he said, you know what you're doing. And I said, you know what? That sounds like a great idea. Should I mail in my application or should I just go ahead and do it online? And he said, well, you could try it both ways. I said, I might just do that. So next week I'm going to try to put in an application with Netflix, human resources, and see if I can get a job as a beta tester and part of the development team to see if they would be interested in providing an application for both Linux and the PowerPC Macintosh. I think it would be great if they could, especially for Linux, but if they got the same code base, there's no reason why they couldn't do the same thing with PowerPC Macintosh, because they have the code that they're using with the iPhone. And the iPhone does not have all the libraries the desktop has. One of the good things about using it with a desktop is that it is going to make it easier enough to provide a library that they control, the code development they control from the user's perspective perfectly. I mean, that's what because of digital rights management, they want to have control. If you have the total proprietary code and it's available for a certain processor and that code is maintained by your company, you have total control. It is called vertical marketing, and it's a good way to make sure that you're not depending on outside sources to make your code work. By the way, it's going to be getting cooler in the next few days. Don't expect any snowflakes yet here in Winston, but it will start getting into the frosty department and nighttime. So, prepare. And speaking of frosty, we are already established at the next episode 4, Once Upon a Time. We've already met in episode 3. We've already met the ice queen who sells ice cream. You like that for a twist. The ice queen that serves ice cream, and of course Elsa. Apparently the two had met each other in the past, and yet they had forgotten Elsa had forgotten who this woman was. It'll be interesting to see how all that works in the Once Upon a Time arc. It seems to be doing very well for the people over there at Once Upon a Time, and the show is probably the show from cancellation probably this year. I don't know about next, but we'll see what happens. I don't want to spoil your story about the Once Upon a Time for those of you who are watching it. I'm just going to tell you right now, it's a good show, and you should watch it and keep up with all the ins and outs of the characters, and I think you'll enjoy it. Well, for right now, I'm going to get ready to go ahead and take care of some personal matters, and I'm going to get the other video up from last week, or from Sunday. I'm going to try to get that up, and I'm going to try to get this one out in a reasonable period of time. And so for now, don't forget to like or dislike, comment in the comment sections below here. Subscribe if you have not already done so. Share with your friends and enemies, and let's keep just on what's going on. And as far as the chroma key green screen thing, well, I have a couple hunches with that, which right now I don't really have a definitive answer, but I think that those new light bulbs may make some difference. I know that I had to adjust the brightness, as I said, and this makes sure I'm look a little more bright instead of as dim and dark as I have for the last few videos. I'm sorry about that. Okay, we're having some problems with the software, but we'll work on it. We'll fine tune it. Always do. And for now, that's it, guys. Talk to you later. Bye bye.